You don't have an idea problem. You have a learning problem. You're watching content every day, but you're not learning anything from it. You scroll, you save, you take notes. Then you try to create nothing. This is what I see all the time. Creators are constantly consuming, saving posts, collecting ideas, watching what works. But when it's time to post, there is nothing there. Not because you don't have ideas, because you never really understood what you were looking at.
I started to share something correlated about my vision of the world. I started my very first post were terrible, a lot of emojis everywhere. After I saw that some people started to saw my post to make the first likes, even if my first posts were terrible. But so that encouraged me to continue to share a vision of the world, my personal perspective, even if at the beginning I didn't know that I will start my business so quickly.
You think you're doing the work. I saw a good post. I liked that idea. I should try that. That's not thinking, that's collecting. You're stopping at the easiest part.
Now, this is because we need to build trust in the middle. So usually people put CTAs in the content of, if you want to get X result, DM me this keyword, send me a message with this keyword, and I'll help you. Now that works, yes, but there is only 3% of the market. There's a rule, the 3%, only 3% of the market is ready to buy right now. Versus the other 97% are kind of in the middle. I don't know if I actually have a problem.
Content doesn't give you answers. It gives you signals. And signals, they don't explain themselves. And they don't tell you what to do next. They force you to ask, why did this work? Most people never ask it. Here's the truth. You're not thinking, you're hoarding content. Observation is surface, interpretation is depth. This did well, that didn't work. That's not insight, that's reporting.
Back in the days, I think it was early this year, there was this person I was looking up to on LinkedIn. She had over 500k followers. So to me, I'm like, oh my God, this is a queen. She's living the life. I want to be like her. And then I'm following her and then I'm commenting. I'm like, oh my God, you're so inspirational. You're so awesome. And one day she comes into my DM asking if I could give her a job. I'm like, how about all the deals? How about all the quotes? How about everything? And she's like, it's branding, it's marketing. I'm like, that's not branding. That's scamming. That's lying. I put you in my prayer points. I didn't know I was cursing myself. Because if I were to be like that would be like backwardness for me. So some of the people you look up to, it's all a mirage.
This is the difference. Interpretation. Every time you see something, stop. Ask, what actually happened? Why did it happen? What does this reveal? That's actually where the ideas come from. Not from the content, but from what you understand about it.
Not a competence gap, it's a confidence gap. And typically what predicts promotions and more visibility is confidence, not necessarily competence. And so if from a young age you've been told you need to be polite over everything versus actually what you have to say, it deters women in particular to speak up because there's more fear of repercussions. There's more fear of being seen as bossy or over-emotional, and it's something that's happened from childhood.
Most people say, this post did well. That's useless. Better. This worked because it challenged people how they see themselves. Same content, different level of thinking. That's where the original content comes from.
I think back then it was a little bit different the way it is now. I feel like the environment has changed a lot in the way people perceive selling, and how you need to adapt to what the market has evolved into. Back then, it was more like the tactical things. Now I think it's about more the emotional side of it and the trust building process, so that people trust you on a conscious, unconscious level, and they can visualize working with you. And I think there is a lot of more human psychology than before that people need to tap into and leverage than before. I think you can do a lot of things when you know how to sell. And when you have developed the skill of understanding what makes people buy stuff.
Better creators don't see more. They stay with what they see longer. They push past the first answer. They extract meaning. Stop saving ideas. Start finishing thoughts. If you're serious about getting better at this, subscribe. Because that's where most people stop. And why they actually never improve. Next video, I'll show you why even when you do this, your ideas still feel obvious. Stay tuned for more.